I know, we are all into The Chosen as a whole. It is not just a show for us, it is a lifestyle with its own vibe. We are interested not only in the series, but also its production process, its cast, its setting, and more. Basically, the more we learn and know about The Chosen, the better. And nothing interests us more than knowing about the real-life experiences of the cast, especially when it comes to their love life. Because, let me tell you, there are some interesting and, let's say, unconventional approaches to romance in this list. So, let's talk about it. One of the first people I got curious about was, of course, none other than our beloved Jesus, also known as Jonathan Roumie. I mean, we already know that he is a devoted Christian and seeks for a saint's life. However, still, he is a man just like you and me. So, naturally, I feel like a lot of us are curious about how he's like in real life and whether he has a partner whom he shares his faith with. Well, turns out he's 50 and completely single by choice. He's not dating, and he's been very clear about why. In a recent interview, he said, "I've surrendered that part of my life to God. If marriage is in his plan, it'll happen when the time is right." I know a lot of you guys have crush for Jonathan, and trust me, you are not alone. But not gonna lie, there is something admirable in his stance towards dating and romance in general. He's not chasing love or attention, he's living in deep trust, and I admire that so much. Clearly, his lifestyle is super simple and centered around his Catholic faith. He's a man who prays daily, speaks gently, and keeps things private. And as long as this works for him, I'm here for it. But let me know what you think. Surprisingly, the one that resembles Jonathan the most when it comes to his romantic life is none other than Shahar Isaac, who plays Simon Peter. In fact, I don't think it would be so wrong to claim that in real life, he's a complete mystery. I mean, I couldn't find a single confirmed detail about his love life. And you guys know what a sleuth I am. And despite that, I am in the dark when it comes to Shahar. No tagged photos, no relationship announcements, no juicy interviews. His Instagram is just stunning black and white shots and show updates. And honestly, that makes me even more curious. What I do know is that his scenes with Eden, his wife in the series, are simply electric. They're tender and raw and totally believable. And I know that a lot of you guys are also wondering if something was going on between them in real life. Because, let's be honest, that chemistry feels so real. And based on their interviews together, I can confidently say that they care about each other in real life. That being said, they've both said they're just acting, which only makes me respect them more for being that good at their craft. But let me know if you ship the duo or not. Now let me tell you about Elizabeth Tabish, aka Mary Magdalene. I mean, she's a force for sure. We know that off-screen, she's this deeply creative soul. She is into poetry, nature, and vintage art. And yes, she's married. So finally, we have a real-life romance at our hands. She got married in 2022 and posted these dreamy photos from an amazing ceremony. She didn't tag her husband, but she did write, "Being with someone who truly understands your soul, it's a gift I don't take for granted." I mean, didn't that line just melted you guys as well? What a lovely caption. I can see that she really lives her life in alignment with what she believes, and I love seeing that. Her character in The Chosen doesn't have a romantic storyline, but the quiet connection between her and Matthew has sparked so much speculation. I mean, you've probably seen the fan edits, right? There's just something there, this mutual respect and emotional depth that feels like the beginning of something unspoken. Even though nothing's confirmed in the story, I definitely catch myself rooting for them. But let me know what you think. Speaking of Matthew, I don't know about you guys, but Patel has completely won me over. His performance is so delicate and intentional that I basically feel every beat of his character's heart. In real life, he's also single and very introspective. He once said, "This role really pushed me to think about vulnerability and connection, even made me reflect on my own relationships, or the lack thereof." I mean, to me, he seems like someone who's taking the time to understand himself fully before jumping into anything. His social media is also thoughtful, reflective, and deeply personal. And as I just mentioned, when he's on screen with Mary Magdalene, there's this awkward, sweet tension that just makes me want them to be something more. I know they're not a couple in real life, but in my heart, I kind of ship it. And then there's Andrew, played by Noah James. On the show, he's Simon's sensitive brother, always trying to hold things together while quietly falling apart. In real life, Noah is in a very romantic, lovely relationship. He doesn't share a ton, but every now and then he'll post a photo or mention how supportive his wife is. In a recent Q&A, he said, "Having someone who supports this crazy journey, long filming hours, emotional roles, is something I'm incredibly grateful for. The two's wedding was a whole event back then, as they were also published on magazines for their romantic aesthetic. They also love to enjoy life together as they attend festivals and concerts often, based on Noah's Instagram. In general, though, Noah's personal life seems grounded, just like the way he portrays Andrew. Now, if you're anything like me, you probably love John, played by George H. Zanthis. George is from Australia, and he's been in a long-term relationship for years. He's a bit more private, but I've seen a few travel photos and glimpses of him and his wife together multiple lives. It is clear that he has this really creative lifestyle as he does voice work, theater, storytelling, and I get the sense that his relationship is built on shared passions. His character doesn't have any love story in the series, but I think that's part of what makes him so compelling. He's solely focused on Jesus. He is extremely loyal and full of warmth. Then there's little James, played by Jordan Walker Ross. Surprisingly, James's story of living with disability mirrors the actor's real life. Jordan was born with cerebral palsy and scoliosis, and his journey to acceptance and confidence has been nothing short of inspiring. He's married to a beautiful woman named Laura, and they have 2 children together. He once said, "My wife has been my rock, especially during the moments I doubted myself in this industry." I mean, how can you not tear up in the face of such words? Am I right? Of course, we should also talk about the man behind Quintus, the ever-intense Roman who I kind of love to hate, is actually a softie in real life. Brandon Potter is married to a fellow actor, and from everything I've read, they seem like this incredible creative team. He once said, "We challenge each other creatively and personally. It's a beautiful partnership." That kind of mutual support in marriage is something I think we can all hope for. On screen, his character is too busy with politics to be romantic, but the real man behind the armor is all about romance in real life. For more weekly updates, discussions, and analysis on The Chosen, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.